So let's just start with the basics. What has changed during this period? Us producing a lot more garbage from home? How dirty are we exactly?
Well, we certainly saw increase in trash generation in our residential system. It began as soon as people started working from home and being with all the stay-in-home orders, stay-in-place orders. So we were able to handle that. We saw increases in some cases as much as 20% and more. We've seen that moderate now. So we chased that number up. It stabilized. We saw some reduction in commercial and industrial waste, and now that's starting to come back. So overall, it's good to be a necessary service in times like this.
When you look at the commercial versus residential breakdown, the business versus residential, what does that mean for your bottom line? Which one's more important?
Well, certainly our small container commercial business is a more profitable business than our residential business. So this puts a little extra strain on residential. We're going to be working back with our over 1,700 municipal customers and working with them on how we can recover some of the cost increases because of the increase in waste volumes. Nevertheless, we came out a couple of weeks ago on our Q1 call and committed to the market that we were still going to produce $1 billion of free cash flow this year. So that just speaks to the stability of the business. And again, being an essential service. And right now we're counting a sequential week after week improvements in the business. So we've stopped the decline and now we're happy to be working on the uptick.
Where does the activity from your customers and your business sit right now compared to, say, this time a year ago? How far off from baseline are we right now?
Yeah, we haven't really given all those numbers yet. We're gonna, it's too early to call the trend. I think what we're gonna do is hold off and give a lot more detail in our July Q2 call. What we said so far is it's really going to be a tale of two halves. The first half, obviously, trouble with COVID-19, and the back half recovery. And again, we've got the ability to flex our CapEx. We've got the ability to button down on cost, and the team's just done a great job. Productivity's improved, safety's improved. We're winning new business in a time like this because some of our competitors can't answer the bell. So there's still a lot of positivity in the business. And again, I point to the strength of the balance sheet and the strength of the cash flow, and that's really why our owners like to own the company.
Don, I want to ask you about the guidance part, the suspension of it, and I'll be pretty frank here because there's a lot of companies pulling back guidance, and it's making this conversation from a broad stock market perspective really hard for investors to figure out what exactly the market's worth and what companies' bottom lines are worth. Are you pulling back guidance because you really have no insight, or are you pulling back because it's just a safe thing to do? Because when you're still showing 3.5% growth year over year, I mean, it seems like you guys are doing well during quarantine. There's trash outside quarantine. I mean, there's trash no matter what is happening right now. So why do they need to pull the guidance?
Well, we pulled guidance. It was a responsible thing to do in the timing. Consider that was several weeks ago when, again, we still hadn't necessarily seen a sustained bottoming of this revenue decline or this volume decline. Now we've seen it bounce back. So while we pulled guidance, we offered an outlook around cash flow, which again, that should be the kind of thing that really gives our investors great confidence in the business. So, we even said, look, if depending on how this thing gets back and how slow or fast the return to normal is, we still think there's a chance that we could still hit the bottom end of our original free cash flow guidance. So I think that's really given our investors a great deal of confidence. And I think that's what's showing up in the stock price today is people realize that our business is more resilient than maybe they even thought.
Do you expect to have the same workforce on the other side? Does it look like there's going to be enough comeback for businesses to keep the same number of employees, the same number of trucks running?
Yeah, it'll be different by market. You consider that we're in 42 states. We're in over 230 markets across the U.S. Some markets are coming back stronger than others. Right now, we've really kept everybody working. We wanted to make sure we had all the available power that we needed to work through the summer, work through vacation season, those kind of things. The team's done a great job. And we'll adjust workforce as necessary based on any sustained declines. But right now, we're feeling really good about the direction of the business, and it's a positive outlook overall for us.
I imagine oil prices, to some degree, still suppressed and depressed from where they were during the crisis. helps out. If we do get back to normal, let's say business resumes, your company's top line sales growth has been positive. It's continued to grow. What are the main priorities you want to get to? How does waste management and recycling and company grow? How do you increase margins? What's kind of the main priority once all this is done for you?
Well, typically in a normal world, we grow with population growth. We grow with household formation. We're closely tied to single-family home starts. So when you see positivity with home builders returning to work, that bodes well for us, and it speaks to the overall organic growth in the business. So overall, waste is a slow growth business because, again, we're tied to population growth, as I just said. But we're working on a great many initiatives in and around digital technology to improve productivity. We've had a great run here so far, even with amidst COVID. Our team really performed well. Productivity was great. Safety was a great story for us, and so forth. So we're right back to work. I mean, we never really missed a beat. We move people to working from home. We're rolling out something we call our RISE platform, which is a new digital tool for dispatch and for routing. That's underway. So those kind of programs we're still investing in, and they'll produce really great outcomes, here this year and next year for our owners and for our team.